Thank you for joining me on the journey. This is Completed Christianity. Thank you for coming back again for our next episode of Being Complete. Continue on with our exposing of this Hebrew Roots exposed documentary by Pastor Anderson and his core ministry team. So after that, maybe after another series on the Mark of the Beast, I guess I'm just going to have to do that. Then we'll settle in with our schedule, which will be good for most of the year. At times we may deviate for particular things going on at particular times of the year. So let's play.
Talked about this, and I don't have any judgment towards you because this is all I knew my whole life growing up. But I think that Jesus means Hail Zeus. I
think Jesus means Hail Zeus. Now, somebody will probably pull that out at some point and say, oh, well, Lance said that it's Hail Zeus. No. When you go through that study, which I have, it seems to be compelling, but it's not true. The words between the Greek Jesus and Zeus, there's no connection in Greek to these words. This guy's been through this study about the Jesus means Hail Zeus. It does not. Okay, well, let's go on.
Growing up, but I think that Jesus means Hail Zeus. I refer to him as White Jesus now.
So, might as well refer to him as Racist Jesus then. So when they bring in people like this, and they say this is Hebrew root, this is not Hebrew root. I mean, this is a schism. This is basically like saying Christianity is Mormonism. Christianity is Jehovah's Witness. Any evangelical Christian is going to balk at that. They're going to say, yeah, that's not fair. And that's what's going on here, as I've stated before.
There's no greater strategy for Satan than to attack the foundation of our faith, the name of Christ. And so if Satan knows that there's one name that we can call on to be saved, it's obvious that he would do everything in his power to attack that one name.
So he's saying that since the Hebrew Roots people are against the name of Jesus, or they say that there's a better name, that they're of Satan and they're attacking the one name, because they put this verse up here that there is none other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved, and neither is there salvation in any other name. But that name, understood at the time of this writing, that name wasn't Jesus. And in the Hebrew culture that the Messiah lived in, that name is Yeshua. In Israel today, they call him Yeshua. It's Yeshua. It always was. And these guys are saying that since it's not in the King James Bible, since it's not in the Greek text, it's not Yeshua. That Yeshua is a false name, and there's no power in it. Well, the thing is there is power in the name, and that's a spiritual power. And just because flesh and blood don't understand that name, and it's been hidden from them, I mean, this is the ultimate attack on the name. If you want to say that there's an attack on the name, the ultimate attack on the name is to marginalize it. The ultimate attack on the name is to negate it. The ultimate attack is to ignore it. And this is the layered deceptions of the enemy. We think that the enemy is black and white. It's not black and white. He doesn't have wrong and right. He has wrong, not as wrong, not as wrong, not as wrong, a little more right, a little more right, some more right, some more right, and eventually you get to the truth. These are layered deceptions, and so you're like rungs on a ladder. You can see these rungs below you, and you don't even know that there's rungs above you. And so you think you're walking in the truth because you see these deceptions below you. And so you're like, oh, I got the truth. But then you don't look at the big picture. You don't have all the information.
It's obvious that he would do everything in his power to attack that one name.
And he has. And the one name is Yeshua. And the English equivalent isn't Jesus, it's Joshua. Yeshua, Yahshua, Joshua. That's the attack on the name. That we've changed the name to something else. We've transliterated it through multiple languages. But it said there's only one name. So why is it okay for that one name to be transliterated into something that doesn't even resemble the original?
Did you know that the name Jesus is less than 400 years old? Where did this name come from? And what was the original name of our Messiah?
Okay, so this is Lex Meyer, and his channel is Unlearn the Lies, as it says on the screen. I listen to Lex. I don't agree with everything Lex says. I like a lot of things Lex says. But this right here, he's right. It's less than 400, 500 years old. Before 500 years, the J doesn't exist in any language, and the J was not in the original King James either. The 1611 King James, it doesn't say Jesus. It says the I-E-S-U-S, which would be Yesa or Yesu or Jesus, depending on how you say it in your culture, which is closer to something like Yeshua, because you had Yeshua and Yesu in Greek, and then Jesus eventually to Jesus. If you backtrack it, the name goes back to something that's at least similar to Yeshua, and the device is in languages, when you see a name written in another language and you know what that name is, like the name of somebody important, and it's been transliterated in another language, but you know that name, you don't say it as the name that it's written, you say it as the name you know it as. It's just like, why change the name just because we speak another language? We don't do that today. We don't do that with anything. Like Mikhail Gorbachev. We don't call him Michael Gordon and try and change the name to something that sounds, we still call him by his name in his language. We don't do that with anybody else, but we do that with this. And then these guys, they're so indoctrinated with lies that they're adamantly defending the lie.
Where did this name come from? And what was the original name of our Messiah?
When you say that the name of Jesus is the wrong name, that's an attack on the Greek New Testament.
So, it's an attack on the Greek New Testament. It is not. The Greek New Testament is just that. It's a Greek writing. And so here we're going to start getting into some other things, but that's going to be the next video. Psalm 89:34, my covenant I will not break, nor alter the word that has gone out of my lips. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. Comment down below. Comments of opposition are welcome. Just don't say anything dumb like we're not under the law, we're under grace, because you've been taught to use that verse outside of the bounds of its intended context. Subscribe now. Smash that subscribe button and ring that bell so that you get notifications of all future videos.